Dranik. Dranik is pretty obvious. Dranik is my last name spelled backwards.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
It's obvious if you know your last name spelled backwards.
Dranik is...
And the reason I know that is because I have narcolepsy. Or, what is it? There went the joke. There went the joke.
I know what you're talking about. It's any consolation.
What is it when you see things backwards? Help me out, Roy.
Dyslexic?
Dyslexic, that's it. I know that because I'm dyslexic. Well, there went the joke.
Anyway, keep going.
I figured that was the best name for Dranik because Dranik is like he's based a lot on myself at the age of 5 and at the age of 21 when I started this. But a lot of it is like, there's a lot of things in it that are exaggerated. For example, I never killed an infant. I am not schizophrenic. I am a little crazy, but I am not schizophrenic.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I do not own any pets. I don't have a rabbit that I talk to. I did not live in a negligent household. It was a single parent family. It's like my mom and dad got divorced when I was pretty young, but it was still
my dad, he beat on me, but I deserved it. You know, I put my eye up, but I deserved it.
But it was
anyway, keep going.
But it was, it's like a lot of things I based off of for Dranik is like, he likes Oscar the Grouch. That was like my favorite thing when I was like at that age. It was like I loved Oscar the Grouch. Out of all the Sesame Street characters, I loved Oscar the Grouch. But I changed it up with Dranik. It's like he likes Oscar the Grouch because he doesn't BS about life on the street.
I like Oscar the Grouch because he has that Doctor Who thing going on with his trash can, I mean, it's like he goes down in there and there's like this huge room, in the trash can.
Yeah.
I like, my favorite's always been Cookie Monster. Because, you talk about an addictive personality on Sesame Street, and now they've changed him to where he tries to eat healthy, and it's like, oh, you just killed the character.
Yeah, but I mean, he never really ate unhealthy to start with because, he never really did swallow any of his cookies.
Yeah, he would just chew them up and spit them out.
I say, Mommy, he didn't swallow the cookies. Well, that's okay, son. He doesn't have any teeth.
He's anorexic. That's why his fur just hangs on him.
It's funny. I was actually listening to some of a radio show the other day in the car that it was talking about some of like the things that have come up in the years, whether they were intentional or not in the show, like issues that certain characters had. Like it got to the point where one was suspected to have like HIV or something, and like.
Oh, that was like the South African Sesame Street or something like that.
I mean, whether it was through the grapevine or whether they actually planned it, I don't know, but like...
Yeah, a Muppet with AIDS.
Man, like, wow.
Chappelle had a show where it had like the Sesame Street characters, and one had like herpes, and one of them had AIDS and all that stuff, and they were singing about safe sex, and it was pretty pathetic.
What is someone doing to those poor puppets?
You could tell they were ripping off Sesame Street, but they weren't actually trying to be. I mean, like, the grumpy puppet was, like, red. He had, like, red fur and that kind of stuff. So I guess so they couldn't sue him for copyright infringement or whatever, but it was funny. What is it I said, comedy comes from pain, some puppet singing about having AIDS, that really shouldn't be funny, but I couldn't help but laugh.
Well, that's what Henson died of.
Don't ruin it for me. And you leave Mr. Rogers alone. You leave Mr. Rogers off the table there, buddy.
I didn't say Mr. Rogers. I said Jim Henson, the guy who created the...
I know what you said.
I think he contracted it from the count.
one orgasm.
Your blood.
No. One show creator dead. Two show creator dead. Ha ha ha.
One fatal disease. Two fatal diseases.
There goes my childhood. It's gone. It's dead. It's dead.
My childhood died 10 years ago.
We could get into some serious. I mean, if you guys want to talk it, I mean, we could talk some serious.
Right. Do you know
you guys already did Bert and Ernie to death?
Sesame Street celebrated 40 years this year, Roy.
I know they did. But, if you want to talk
40 years, man.
You want to talk about cartoon madness, let's tear into it. I mean, Scooby-Doo, think about that. That is there's so much drug and sex reference in that show. Teenagers, no visual income, touring the country in a psychedelic van. I mean, the theme song, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I mean, they're saying, smoke a joint, Scoob. They've always got the munchies. They're always paranoid.
Yeah, and what is in those Scooby snacks anyway?
I think it's hash. I think it's blonde.
That's what I was going to say, hash.
Or the other way, they've been smoking up, and the Scooby snacks are their munchies.
Right. Well, they're always hungry. They're always paranoid, and they're always seeing stuff.
Scoob, this is really the good stuff.
And then Freddie, I mean, he's always taking off with the two chicks. It's like, yeah, you guys go that way. I'm going to take the girls over here, and we're going to end up hiding behind a big stack of crates.
Well, Velma's a lesbian.
Huh?
I said, well, I don't think it's Velma. Velma's just a lesbian.
No, she swings both ways.
Velma's dealing with Daphne, and Daphne's dealing with Fred at the same time. It's the perfect three-way.
They disappear behind a stack of crates, and then halfway through the show, you see them pop their heads up like, hey, what's going on?
And then on top of it, let's face it, man, who, except for someone who was Parker Farked out of their mind, would put on a mask episode after episode. I know it's different people, but it was constantly just some guy in a mask to scare people off of his land. You had to be high to do that in the first place.
I'd have got by with it if it hadn't been for you crazy kids.
We just want your weed, man.
I'll get rid of these crazy stoners. I'll put on a rubber mask and freak them out.
Come away from my pot farm.
But, and then...
Hey, Shelley, you sure do have a pretty mouth.
And then you look at other cartoons. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Roy, why you got to pick on Winnie for, man?
Stop.
I mean, we knew the rabbit was gay, but come on,
Christopher Robin. It's a boy's name and a girl's name.
Oh, my God.
Wears the little girl strap-on shoes. It's like, well, which is he?
Are you looking for the stuff? Are you...
No, it's like, oh, my God. Go back and watch
Rabbit.
Winnie the Pooh. He gets stuck in the rabbit's hole. He's stuck in the rabbit's hole. His ass is in the rabbit's house. And what does Rabbit do? Go back and watch the cartoon. Rabbit draws a penis on Pooh's ass.
Yeah, but look, Rabbit was gay, though. I mean, here's a male rabbit that likes to keep house, that has a vegetable garden, even sounds like he's,
cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan. Hey. Did you ever see Rabbit with a girlfriend? No.
Eeyore was on Downers. I was like, oh, here we go again.
I wonder if it was the Downers or just dealing with all them people. It's like, oh, here we go again. I got to deal with these friggin' idiots.
Tigger was obviously a cokehead. Piglet's about the only normal one of the bunch, and he's a paranoid schizophrenic. I mean, think about it. Pooh has hallucinations of heffalumps and woozles. Big psychedelic hallucinations. I mean...
Okay, on that note, I think we need to wrap it up. The board is starting to bing, and I'm getting a little bit of feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we can carry on. But I want to be sure we get the interview in. So
didn't you want to know more about the other character names besides Janet?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait till after the show or something.
No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll talk about them now.